Good evening, everybody. It's been a while. We are here in Central in Theatre Lane, just outside MTR exit D2. There are maybe up to a dozen people who are gathering in solidarity for a vigil or protest, along with a similar number of police here, in line with the nationwide anti-COVID regulations protests that are sweeping the country. We're going to speak to a couple of them in a minute, but as you can see here, some flowers have been laid for those who died in the Urumqi apartment buildings that set on fire. At least 10 people died. It was under COVID lockdown. A lot of media, of course, outnumbering most people here. So there are a few people with blank placards. I've forgotten your name again. I'm sorry. What was your name? Shelley. So why did you come out this evening, Shelley?
So I want to support people in Shanghai. Yeah, the young teenager in Shanghai.
And are you a student or are you from Hong Kong?
I'm working in Hong Kong.
I see. So what do you know about the protests in China? What motivated you in Hong Kong to come out?
So, that in Shanghai, people have to stay and they protest and they march, but they also be arrested by the police. And we are angry about it.
Do you have any concerns about the police here? You know, it's very rare, of course, we see protests now in Hong Kong.
Yeah, but we know that it's just a blank paper. It doesn't mean anything. I just stand here, and people will know what I'm doing.
Yeah, let's just take a look at the placard there. It's blank. Can you explain a bit more, maybe, why we're seeing so many blank placards across China over the last few days?
People all know what is the meaning. And if you, in China, they have been forbidden to speaking and they don't have the freedom of speech for many long time. Yeah. If you put something in there, maybe you will be arrested by some excuse. Yeah. So blank people, blank paper, and everybody knows what it means. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Shelley. Thank you. Can I speak to you for a moment? Okay, not to worry. I think we see some police coming down now. Okay. Do you speak English, guys?
Sure.
Yeah. May I ask why you came out tonight?
To express our opinions.
Of course, there's nothing on your placard.
People will know.
Can you talk a bit more about why the blank placards we're seeing nationwide?
This is what people do in Shanghai, my hometown.
You're from the mainland.
Yeah.
Are you concerned about what's going on back home?
Of course, I cannot go home for 2 years, and my parents were locked down for 3 months.
And are you a student?
No, I work here.
Do you think there is something more happening other than the anti-COVID regulations protests? There are some calls for political change.
I know there is, but I'm not sure like the amount of people doing that. It's kind of sensitive. Right?
And of course, it's quite difficult nowadays to protest in Hong Kong, and police are here. Are any concerns about coming out this evening?
We're not. I think, strictly speaking, I'm not protesting because, as far as I know, Hong Kong government doesn't really implement zero COVID policy, right? So we're happy with Hong Kong government for now, but what we're not happy with is the zero COVID policy in mainland China. So yeah.
Thank you, sir. Can we get a name, please?
You can call me James.
Thank you, James.
James, are you worried that whatever you guys are doing right now?
No, I'm alone.
So as we go into rush hour, this is certainly attracting more passers-by and media than there are actually people showing up tonight. And police just to my right here, working out how to control the crowds that are swelling a little bit. But of course, this is a very rare scene in Hong Kong. Some have argued that it's been easier in recent days to protest in China compared to here. A couple of people who attempted to hold a vigil or protest at HKU, University of Hong Kong, were swiftly visited by police who intervened with at least one of them. And it turned out it was the university that handed them over, or rather called the police. So just lining Theatre Lane here, we have a few people on their own with protest placards, most with blank placards in line with what's happening in China, in several key cities and across dozens of campuses. But it seems police are assisting somewhat the demonstration in that they have cordoned off an area here, and inside you see flowers that have been laid, and then the media zone just outside it. Well, it would not be fair to say protests are rare in China, nor are the anti-COVID protests particularly new. It maybe goes back a few months, or if you look at last week, we had unrest and protests around the Foxconn factories. There was a lot of upset over scenes of people not wearing masks at the World Cup. There was also the protest on the bridge in Beijing in the lead up to Congress, the big legislative meeting. And so it is only the last few days, though, things have really escalated, with several cities seeing protests, multiple campuses, and already, at least in Xinjiang and in Beijing, some of the COVID measures are being relaxed slightly. Police are now on the megaphones and they're filming. Let's try and speak to some people here who've shown up with some funeral flowers, some white flowers. Hi guys, do you speak English? I'm a journalist.
Yeah, we don't want to.
No worries. Yeah, some of these guys. Hi guys, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm a journalist. Hong Kong Free Press. Maybe. All right, no worries. Hey. Well, maybe understandably, not everyone wants to speak at the moment. Sorry, my gyroscope stabilizer is a bit unsteady. Checking media credentials, and the police trying to keep the central space open for rush hour. And now we have, I would say, at least a couple of dozen people. Hi guys, English media, Hong Kong Free Press. May I ask you just why you came out today?
I feel this is important for Chinese future. because after 1989, we have never seen a protest in so many provinces in China like this. And actually, we were taught about Chinese history on our lessons, and we know how many times China missed its chance to become a democracy.
What do you expect will happen next with such widespread protests? Is there going to be a big crackdown? Will they relent on the COVID measures, or both? What are your hopes and fears about the coming days and weeks?
Simply, I don't know. But even though I don't know, but I will carry on. I think I will keep calm and carry on. And
You're from Hong Kong?
Yes, I'm a Hong Kongese. And what I fear is, well, just like today, actually, somehow I am stressed. I'm stressful because of this event, and I can foresee how many police officers will be here. But I cannot step. I just cannot step back.
Yeah.
In this event, I think, because this is so important.
Yeah, I was going to ask, it's very rare nowadays that there are protests in Hong Kong. You have the national security law. Some people say it's more easy at the moment to protest in China. How did you learn about the event this evening, and are you concerned about the police showing up? They seem to be assisting a little bit, right?
Yeah, but I still think that in mainland China, it is more easy to organize such protests than in Hong Kong. This is sad, but in this moment, this is the reality. And I think I'm just doing what I can do as much as I can.
Okay, thank you very much. May I get a name for you, please?
OASIS, or SAS.
OSAS. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Take care. Well, all but two of those gathered here at this vigil or protest are holding blank placards, as we have seen across the country. Actually, the idea may have originated in Hong Kong a couple of years ago, after the onset of the national security law. So at least a couple of dozen people, as those demonstrations across Chinese cities and campuses escalated in recent days, sometimes with police protester clashes, sometimes with disobedience of COVID rules, and Beijing at least relenting on a couple of smaller measures, such as barricading buildings in Beijing. That's going to be phased out, and a lot of the measures in some areas of Xinjiang are going to be drawn out, cancelled. We're going to leave it here so I can get a few more quotes and photos this evening, but thank you for joining us. There's a lot of news this evening. There may be another Facebook Live in COHK campus, Chinese University, where there is another gathering, and you may have just seen the breaking news about the prospect of Beijing intervening in the Jimmy Lai national security case to prevent him from hiring a UK lawyer, if you want to check out that breaking news. Okay, good night from Central.